Hello fellow builders, and welcome back to the bench. We are still working on our Grogu cubicle display thing. You know, I got done with the other video so early in the day. I'm not gonna stop. You know, builders gotta build. I still haven't even taken Pan's jacket off yet. So anyway, where were we when we last left? We had the Razor Crest built, and we were trying to figure out our angle for mounting it in the box. And so what I found out was, okay, you've got two separate adjustments. So one adjusts it this way and the other adjusts it this way, and then it's already on an angle. And so I want it to mount against the wall to where it has, like, it's kind of swooping out of the corner. But they don't make anything like that. So what I did is I took the base that comes with the Razor Crest, the little one, used the same relative size. I pulled out the calipers and I measured the bottom of this. It's even got a round circle in there to make sure it gets snug down in that rectangle. And so what I'm going to do is go into Fusion 360 and, well, just go to the video. As you can see, I'm not trying to be overly fancy. It just needs to be a sturdy rectangle. I've put some little chamfers on it to make it look appealing to the eye, and then we're just going to cut the mounting base into the wall base. And so the back side of this, we're just going to use double-sided tape and stick it to the wall. And if I'm lucky, if it fits just right, then this will be a repeatable thing that I can use for several different Bondi models. I should also be able to use it for the X-Wing, which I'll have to mount behind the Razor Crest. So that piece is in there running on the resin printer right now, and as soon as it's done, we're going to bring it out and give it a test fit. In the meantime, what I did was I went into the Bondi box, and what I found was I had some extra, well, okay, I knew I had extra bases, but my assumption was that they were all the same size, and they were not. So this is the one that I'm going to be using for my mount, but this is the one that I found. It's a little bit longer. You know, it's a little bit different. I found some shorter ones, and so I've got a lot more options what I thought I had. But being this is already black, I don't want to get any paint on wash paint on this, because I plan on putting that one inside the box. This is going to make the model stand straight up, so we're going to pop this on here, and we're going to start our wash. Okay, so what we're going to use is, I went digging around in my box, and I found some old Model Master enamel paint. This is Birth Brown, and if you look at the picture of the model crest, it does have some grunge on it. It does look like it's been around a while. And so the plan before was to put some kind of top coat on here, and like a clear coat, let it dry, and allow that to be what we were going to have the paint stick to. But in the meantime, I found that I could brush this enamel right on there, since for whatever reason the oil-based paint's sticking better to the, I can't find my brush. the one I was using? Anywho, was that it? I think it was. That might be. Let's see. Because all we're really going to do anyway is we're going to just put a little bit on and rub it back off. Well, that didn't work well at all. So let's just see how this works. We're going to put some on. Take a rub it right back off. Yeah, okay. So it's definitely knocking down some of that shine. And so I'll come back with maybe a black. Yeah. And honestly, I feel like I might even be pulling off too much as that is. Like just more dabbing, less wiping. Alright. I'm still going to have to get up to the front and do the cockpit in black for where the windows are. Oh man, that looks so much better. That looks so much better. Okay. Yeah. Alright. So I'm going to pop you on here. Real good. Alright, and this way I can move you around. So I'm going to have to come find two more colors to weather this with, just to give it a little bit more depth. That looks so much better. Alright, let's keep going. I know it feels like, you know, you you can't be really affecting it that much. I mean, you're putting paint on, you're wiping it right back off. How much difference is that gonna make? Well, you'd be surprised how much. So what we might do, well, let's just get this on here. Oh man, yeah, okay. I did not used to be a fan of weathering. I really didn't. I liked my models to look like they were straight off the showroom floor. And just come to realize that they just they don't look realistic that way. They look, depends on what the setting is. I mean, if it's a new spaceport, then maybe. Oh, that looks so much better. Okay. So, now let's find another color. Well, fellow builders, this is where everything started to kind of go south. The goal is to find 3 separate colors to give your model a separation, alright? So you have different colors of grind. And I wanted to go with one that was darker and one was lighter. And so I found another enamel to use on the model. Well, I started to apply it, and it was too thick, and it just didn't, and then it was getting sticky, and I thought I had really screwed up bad. I mean, it's not really wiping off, and I thought maybe the thinner that I was using was causing a problem too. So see, it's not wiping off. So what I decided to do is I tested it on the piece of the sprue. It came right off there, so I knew it wasn't the thinner. So here in a second, I'm going to try, and I'm surprised it worked. I am completely baffled that it worked. I go back to the first color, and I use that to liquefy and pull off the second color. It worked. I don't know why it worked, but it worked. Now, instead of using 3 earth tones, I decided to go for my third color, which is kind of my second color, with a metallic, and I used magnesium, and that kind of gave it a little bit more of a dirty, mechanical, oily look to it, and it came out so well. I was, again, shocked that it was working the way I wanted it to, and it also helped pull off a little bit more of that second color, that darker brown that I really didn't like on before. Alright. Yep, she looks all beat up now. Yeah, but she does have a little bit more depth to her. Okay. I do want to find one more color that's in that tan. See what this will, let's do a little bit of the rust. Let's see what that will do for us. If that does anything. Okay. Getting a little something. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Alright. I think that's exactly what I'm looking for. Oh, wow. Let's see. Just what I was looking for. Whoop! What are you doing? What are you doing? Get back on there. Okay, I'm also, as I'm doing this, notice I'm not going this way. I'm going one direction. So to simulate that it's always moving forward through atmosphere or whatever. So at least that's the way I see it. Some of it back. Okay. Yep. I do believe. I believe that's where we're going to stay, right there. Okay. I am going to apply the stickers, the side body stickers, these tan ones, because I think they'll work because they're big enough to fit where I want them to. But these small ones for the windows aren't. But we'll try it and see. Let's see which goes on which side. Was there a decal guide? Yes, your decal guide is looking at the box. Okay, yeah, actually, the decal guide is on the box. Okay, by sheer luck, I think I got it right. Okay. Call that good before we mess something else up. Alright. But I'm going to go get the print and see what that looks like. Okay. So, here's our piece. Looks really good. Looks like we designed it. Yep. Probably could have made it thicker. There's only one way to tell. On the bottom part. So, do you fit? Yes, you do. And snug. Wow. Wow. Okay. We did a thing. Alright. So now, let's take our nipper. Let's nip this off and see how well. What else we gotta do? Almost like bubble wrap. Cutting through the little... Okay. So, like I said, the base of this it's got a little round circle. It goes through there. It mounts in. Everything lines up. And pushed all the way in, it doesn't go too far through the bottom. Now the bottom of this resin still feels, I think I'm going to go set it back in there and cure it, give it another UV session on the bottom, because that still looks and feels a little bit soft. But then what we can do, I found some command strip pads that I haven't used. I'm going to slap those on there and see if this all works the way I want it to. So, off to that. Well, it was getting late, so I decided to call it a night and just go to bed. But in the meantime, I went on ahead and printed a couple of more of the bases and got everything painted up. I even went on ahead and assembled an X-Wing and got it put on a base, and it's ready to install. It's got the 3M patch on the bottom, and I got my angle set, so all I have to do is just place it in the box. My original plan was to have 2 X-Wings in there and then the Razor Crest, but unfortunately, or unfortunately, there isn't enough room for 2. I could get 2 in there, but it would just look a little bit awkward, and all we're really going for is the representation of that scene, or a scene similar. And with the 2 together, I think it looks really good. So we're gonna go place this, and then we'll get some pictures of it for you, so you can go, ooh, ah, hey. So let's do one thing I did find. Okay, so this is the little piece that I designed, and I was and still am very proud of it. But as I look at it, my hole is it's not centered, which is fine. And then I did find that there is a difference between these Bondi stands that have like a rectangle, it's like a double rectangle at the bottom, as opposed to, right, so this one it doesn't fit in, and this one it does. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. For some reason these are a little bit wider, so all I ended up doing was I needed one of these. I just shaved it down. You know, I used my calipers again, measured to see how much I need to shave off, and just shaved off about down where I needed, glued it, and we're good to go. Paint. But I think you're going to be very surprised at how well this thing actually turned out. So I'm going to go stick that on there, and we're going to look at some pictures. that came out a lot better than I expected. You just never know how things are going to end. The picture you have in your head isn't always what comes out of your hands. As you can see, there's a gap in between the Razor Crest and the X-Wing, and if I had put another X-Wing in there, it would have felt a little bit crowded. I could probably put an A-Wing in there a little bit closer to the wall. Seems maybe like a smaller ship, but instead I think what I'll do is, to the left of Grogu, I'll just go on ahead and build the Mandalorian kit that I have, and he'll stand there, like I said, and they'll all live in that little Grogu's cube together. Okay, I've completed a project. It's your turn. Yep, it's time for you to go build something. Doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter whether you're comfortable doing it, kind of like with me in the weathering, but the more you try it, the better you are going to get at it. So, I'm still not comfortable with the weathering, but we'll just have to tackle that on another project. But until next time, have fun, be safe, and go build something. Pew 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 pew.